Hi, Psychic Frank's Mystery School. Happy New Year! Even though it was astrological New Year, it was the vernal equinox. It was the middle of March. This is April 2nd. So, yeah, what happened was BAVAC, SF Commons. I do these shows twice a month, and SF Commons um, airs them. Every Saturday night at 7:30, and other times I get a lot of airings. So and then I have my YouTube channel. It's Psychic Frank's. Where is it now? Where is that? Oh, well, I'll flash it up later. It's Psychic Frank's Mystery School apostrophe S. Well, I just had this right here, and it's disappeared. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm a psychic healer, and I'm 75 years old. You see, years young, and I say that because I've been around the block a few times, and I've seen everything that's happening now coming from Nixon. And I'm just thrilled. Like every day I realize I won the lottery because I'm alive. Yeah, I'm living hand to mouth. And I'm doing it well. I get high with a little help from my friends. I survive with the help of God. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. So I use numerology and astrology and the tarot cards. And my lovely parrot, Gab. Yes, Gabby, I'm looking for you. Oh, there you are. She's in her little eating room. She'll be out later, and perhaps I'll take her over here. So she loves this computer and the screen, uh, and uh, and she can say hi to you guys. Yeah, she loves her little stardom. Yes, Gabby, I was just talking about you. Yeah, so let's get the numerology underway. Let's get the numerology underway. Okay, let me get a pen. Excuse me. Where's a pen? 1 minute. Oh, jeez. Here we go. Okay, so I like visual aids. I'm real big on visual aids. So we got the United States of America, July 4, 1776. Um, for anybody's numerology, anybody's day and month reduced to one digit is how that person relates to life on a daily basis. 11, 22, 33, 44, master numbers. You want to keep them elevated whenever you can. So here we have 11, 2. So definitely spirituality. 11. It's all about not eating the menu instead of the meal. Realizing everything is spiritual. People cubbyhole everything now, pigeonhole. This my spiritual part of my life. What are you talking about? It's all spiritual. It's all mystical. And then 7, 7 is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 3, 1776 is a 3 year. So we're a 5 life path. Now 2024 is 8. 8 and 2 is 1. So the good old USA is a 1 year now. Everything's going a 9 year cycle. So this is our 1 year now. And we go from spring to spring. I mean, it's idiotic. January 1st, the middle of the winter, and we're celebrating the new year. That's the autumnal egg. That's the winter solstice. But all souls are very old, and they go from many, many vernal equinoxes to spring. We're just a few weeks into our 1 year now. And April is 4, 4 and 1 is 5. So this is our 5 month, and we're a 5 life path. America's got to get rid of the idea that it's ever going to be a dull moment. It's constant effort. We know that now. Democracy can go in a flash, and it's time to definitely digest that. And then universal year, as I said, is 2024 is 8. So November of this year, new beginnings. And by then, our Pluto return will be over. And at the end of November, Pluto enters Aquarius for 20 years. That hasn't, we've had little dabs, over the last year, a few months of several times of Pluto moving like molasses on a cold winter's day, backing up to like 29 Capricorn, 28 Capricorn, or Pluto 27 Capricorn in the money house. And now this is and then from September through October. Hey, Gabby. Well, there you are. You want to come over here and say hello? Get this out of the way, and then I can continue uninterrupted. I know you have your fans. Come on, get up here, baby. Come on, get over here. Come on. You've got people to see. Yes. You're a good-looking chick, honey. Oh, there you are. Who's that pretty bird? Is that the baby Gabby? Yeah, you're the pretty girl. Okay, I'm going to give you a little hug. A hug and a kiss. Okay, say goodbye. Yeah, all my shirts, all my t-shirts, she details them. Yeah, it's that sharp little beak. Okay, you want to go back to your house. Okay, enough for show and tell. Enough for show and tell. Okay, that's enough, baby. That's enough. So, yes, April. I've been waiting for this April for so long, and it's here. Yes, this is the most exciting month. It starts off on the 8th. Oh, God, I left my calendar in the kitchen. Yeah, on the 8th, we have that fantastic... well, actually, yeah, they say it's actually the 8th. Yeah, the 8th. The solar eclipse, 20 degrees... the solar eclipse, 20 degrees, 19, 24 degrees, rounded out, 20 degrees Aries. Here's what's going on with all this Aries energy. Excuse me, all this Aries energy. Excuse me. And the United States of America... Wait, hang on there. Here, this is a clearer picture. Here's the United States of America. And take note, Chiron, the wounded healer planet, 20 degrees Aries. So what we have going on the 8th, the total solar eclipse, is the sun, the moon, and the North Node, and Chiron all conjunct. The sun, Chiron 19, the sun and moon 19 Aries, and the North Node goes counterclockwise 15 Aries. It's headed towards Pisces. Every 18 and a half years, the polar axis. It's all about our soul's involvement, our soul's evolution. The evolution of our... change is inevitable. It's the only thing we can count on. And we should welcome it. And yes, Mercury went retrograde yesterday in Capricorn. So it goes from 15 Aries, 24 Aries down to 15 Aries on the 25th of this month. And and from the 19th through the 25th, we're going to have the Uranus Jupiter conjunction. Woo, woo, woo. I know, this is so exciting. Yeah, So there's a lot of good astrologers, excellent astrologers. Pam Gregory, Kathy Rose, Judd, Steve Judd, I think his name is. I was just watching him this morning. There's amazing Heather Ellsworth or something. Yeah, there's amazing. Gabby, please stop that. So we're going to talk about that because I'm back. Hopefully, if the equipment at SF Commons stays there, the show I'm airing right now will get 2 airs on Saturday. Both Saturdays, 7:30, 29, Channel 29 here in San Francisco. And that's why I only did one show last month because I wanted that show to get out there because I really, we got London Breed, a mayor whose own will is destroying the city. She doesn't get that men or women can do as they do as they will, but they can't will as they will. And as I said, she's totally came out the other day, last month, on the 7 o'clock news. I was turning on the news to watch the weather, and she came out several times saying she's definitely against harm reduction. And that case closed. Yeah, she's, as a healer, it's since Descartes. Descartes said, animals don't feel pain when you torture them and kill them, and you hear screams. That's the sounding of a wheel making. Gabby, stop that! The sound of the wheel makes. It was disgusting, and science hasn't gotten anywhere since Descartes. They just don't get that everything is mystical. The human body is mystical. Benjamin Franklin said, God heals and the doctor takes the money. Boy, have we come away from that now. The shadow of capitalism, direct-to-consumer TV ads now, they get into your mind and they plant these seeds. They don't give any equal, not even Western medicine isn't giving an inch, one iota. They just let this filthy lies, and they tell you your human body is nothing but a machine. Well, the best surgeons in the world, they say they totally put it out of their mind that they're working on a human being. If they do, they couldn't do their job. They say they have to look at it as like an inanimate, like a car, a mechanical thing. Our bodies, they look at science now. They're doing all this research. Yes, Gabby, darling. I know you love when I get excited. My intense, my sweetheart's so intense. Yes. The Western medicine now, their hospitals are death mills. Yeah, this solar eclipse is a wake-up call. It's going to last for, this is, everything that's happening this month is going to affect our planet, literally, because of the dark, the light. Oh, there's so much I want to say. Okay, let me calm down for a second. Take a deep breath. This May will be this May will be not a 1 month. What do you call it? This is a 5 month. So it's going to be September of this year. If the United States of America will have a 1 month and a 1 year. And by then, the election will have been won, and who knows. Gabby, please stop that. Okay, here's the themes for April. Connect with your inner courage. Self-sufficiency and independence. Don't give your power away. Don't let them get into your brain and tell you, if you get into that voting booth, you can vote Democratic. Okay, now you stop this. Capiche? You knock it off. Okay, sorry about that. Release your fears. Oh, Mercury retrograde. Yeah, people, Kathy Rose was talking about, people have such fears about retrograde, anything, all kinds of fears, Well, I mentioned London Breed being against harm reduction, and on my last show I was on my YouTube channel, 83 views. I love that. I guess I'm big time in now. It'll probably crash. I don't know. Maybe that was a freak. See, there I go with the negativity again. Okay. Yeah, Chris. Okay, and I said it was one of the Erickman, Hellerman, or one of those Watergate Germans that was surrounding Nixon. You know, the Watergate 7 or 8 or 9, whatever it was. But no, it was John Dean. John Dean. He was like that with Nixon, and he was sitting in the back in the '60s. You know. He was sitting in the Oval Office chewing the fat with President Nixon. I guess that's what you do if you got the power. And and okay, this distracted me over here in the corner. I don't know what that's about. It'll go away. So anyway, John Deans wrote a book, and he was actually, I said, this was years ago, but it's stuck in my brain because I'm an old hippie, and I think it was Dick Cavett or somebody like that in one of those talk shows. And John Dean had written this book, and he says, yeah, he was sitting in the Oval Office, chatting it up with Donald. Let me see what this is. Try tonight. Okay, good. So sorry about that. So anyway, John Dean said all of a sudden this intern, White House intern, walked in and handed Richard Nixon the envelope with a stack of papers in it. And John Dean said, "What's that?" He said, "Oh, this is the report on the research on cannabis." He said. Yeah, he said, John Dean's sitting there, and Nixon opens it up and is going through it. And then Nixon John Dean said he turned red with anger and started tearing up papers and threw it in the garbage. London Breed, that's what you're standing on the shoulders of Richard Nixon. He's probably suffering now in whatever incarnation he's in. You know, whatever. I know he's back on the earth somewhere in some way. You know, because someone that evil. You know, that's sick. Evil is a sickness. You know, so you know, the London Breed. The reason London Breed will not accept that harm reduction works is because she'd have to accept she killed her sister. Because harm reduction could have saved her sister from overdosing on heroin. She used that as a big get votes thing, you know. And a lot of people thought she was, she's going to get into the harm reduction. No. She liked killing. She enjoyed, once you kill, you like it. That's why they're serial killers. They say, I don't know, I've never killed anything. I can't even kill a spider. I don't want to, you know. But the fact is you know, I think it's, they say, you know, you get addicted to it, you know. I think she needs help. She needs years of therapy. Anyway, you know, she almost made it to Maui. She was 2 hours away from being in Maui when the fire destroyed Maui. So she's on her way to China now. She'll do well there. I hope London Breed stays in China. She could be Chairman London Breed, like Chairman Ed Lee. You know, may he rot wherever the hell he is. At SOB. And yeah, get rid of the homeless, man. Get rid of the homeless. Now, of course, Gavin Newsom homogenizing the city, you know, making it Mill Valley, making it. No, this is cities. This is San Francisco, man. People come here for change and healing. And well, I'm 75 and I think I got a good 20, 30 years left. I want to make San Francisco the healing center of the world. I want people to come from all over the place. There's gifted healers all over the planet. In this country, in this city. I know them. There's all kinds of healers who use alternative medicine. The future is Western and Eastern, but right now Western medicine rules. They're privatizing. It's good. Give these guys all the rope they want because they're going to hang themselves. Come, you know, I'm living for the day they slap those handcuffs and you get to see Donald Trump with his bald as a cucumber with all his fringe tortured forward, you know, like Bernie Madoff. You remember him? You know, those pictures of him without all the photoshopping and Yeah, he's just a fat old, like, the Wizard of Oz. But the wizard wasn't an evil man. He was just, But yeah, Donald's bad. I believe he is definitely channeling the Antichrist, no doubt about it. Putin, yeah. And now we know. Now we know how Germany was taken over by the Nazis. While we're here, let me pick let me pick a few cards because I got so much else I want to share for you. And let's just see what my guides want me to tell you guys. Okay, well, first, I'm going to do the cards, don't worry. Okay, there's something great. So, getting back to what's happening, I'm going to talk more about the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction because that happens on the 20th, 21st. It gets active around the 19th, and I'm going to tape a new show then. So, this show will get aired 2 times, and then that's what SF Commons lets me do. They let me get 2 shows in a month, and they're 52 minutes. And they showed them on channel 29. But my YouTube channel is definitely available. Psychic Frank, possibly at Mystery School. So I'm not going to talk about Jupiter and Uranus, but Uranus is no one gets left out, higher consciousness, and Jupiter is all about more of that. Longevity, technical science, and yeah, this is beautiful. Heather Onslow was talking about this. Healing is what it's all about. The Siberian symbol there's a Siberian symbol for every degree of every number of the zodiac, every degree of the zodiac. And the Siberian symbol for what's going on with this Aries, 19 degrees Aries there, is the image of a young girl feeding birds in the winter. It's about the importance of honoring our innocence, opening our hearts in trust and living from the place of love and compassion, being fearless in the midst of turbulent storms around us. When hell freezes over, I'll skate. That kind of attitude. Choosing courageously to live from the heart, to choose love, not fear. And fear, man, it's all over the place. There's this one thing here I thought about shallowness. This is from 1 Minute Wisdom, Anthony Mello Yellow. Shallowness. 155. A journalist one day asked the master to name one thing that characterized the modern world. The master unhesitantly replied, "People every day know more and more about the cosmos and less about themselves." And to an astronomer who held them spellbound with the wonders of modern astronomy, the master suddenly said, quote unquote, "Of all the millions of strange objects in the universe, the black holes and the quasars and pulsars, the strangest unquestionably is the self." But as I said, we ignore the self. We avoid the self. Yeah, it's just the way it is, I guess. People, I have it right here. I actually have it right here about people avoiding their inner self, changing the causes, and then the effects change. We eat the menu instead of the meal. We deal with the effects instead of the causes. Okay, and what we have here, if we try to ignore the inner world, as most of us do, the unconscious will find its way into our lives through pathology, our psychosomatic systems, compulsions, depressions, and neuroses. Donald Trump. London Breed. I mean, you got to look at those two as, separated at birth. They both have blood in their hands. London Breed is responsible for her sister's suicide because she's against harm reduction. She said it. She admitted it. God, thank you for that, London Breed. At least you died being true to your evil self. With all the pharmaceuticals and all I lived through the AIDS epidemic. I was healing during that period. Healing means sometimes they leave. And it was Brownie Mary who went to jail for making marijuana brownies because with all the people were dying of starvation. They couldn't eat from all the cocktails. People were eating fistfuls of pills all day long to stay alive during the AIDS epidemic. They were guinea pigs because they didn't know what they were doing. And Brownie Mary, so when people say, I think of Brownie Mary. I'm not going to jail because I have a parrot. Otherwise, I'd be more active. But God gave me this bird to keep me the hell out of jail, So, yeah. So resistance is self. Jung said that is part of the plan. It's not just something. So if we didn't have London Breed, Donald Trump, then we'd have to invent them. London Breed never met a real estate developer she didn't absolutely love. Actually, all her friends are real estate. The police department can't stand you, London Breed. They can't stand you. Nobody. Everybody that works for the city puts their head in shame when they mention your name. So, somebody, you got this bubble going on, sister. I can't wait till you're out of it. Oh, God help me. Love. Enter my heart. London Breed, if I didn't care about you, I'd let you go on if I didn't care about this city. But you know what? You're sick. You really need help, honey. And I was right outside City Hall with Access of Love at the night she got elected. Actually, it was a month afterwards because they had to, again, count. It was so close, London. You didn't win by a landslide. Who knows how many of the votes, as I said. I can't even blame London Breed. Mark Leno, that little son of a gun, he would run for me every time. And that Bill Martyr, Channel 7, that son of a gun ran for me in City Hall several times. I saw him. I recognized him from being on Channel 7, Bill Martyr or something, bald-headed little slob. And I said to him, oh, hi, I'm a producer with SF Comics. And the guy ran for me like I was a terrorist. No, you're the terrorist. Now he's still, they say he's retired, but he's still on Channel 7, still pushing this corporate, this totally homogenizing San Francisco. As I said, London Breed and the world would not, especially London Breed's a macro for the whole of what's wrong with the city, is you won't give us a seat at the table, we're going to tear the legs off the effing table. That's been said during the Selma riots, and it's more true now than it was then, London Breed. You should be ashamed of yourself. Stay in China. Stay there. We'll trade you for the pandas. And the reason she's getting the pandas here because she's trying every trick in the book to make up for the fact that she destroyed every department that for years the voters of San Francisco, and when we used to have decent supervisors, put these departments and staffed them to have them make the city livable for the residents. And London Breed took an axe to them. And that Dean Preston, I mentioned that at a city hall, a town hall meeting he had, and he humiliated me in front of the whole room when I mentioned that, he's got his head so far up the butt of London Breed. As I said, we haven't got one courageous city hall supervisor in San Francisco that will stare up to that tyrant. London Breed is Donald Trump. Nobody will. They all sold their hearts to the junk man. As simple as that. The real estate, the peninsula, and they're still going on. They're still building left and right all over the city there. Oh, and you wait, the summer now, and the noise in this city. They're going to have a lot of fairs, and it'd be nice if you could go to these fairs, see people you haven't seen in years and chat, but you can't do that in San Francisco. The noise level now is deafening. I won't I love my hearing. I'm not going to jeopardize my hearing by going through most of the people live on Folsom, the Cas, they have to relocate during these fairs now because I don't think London Breed wants us to talk to each other. She wants us to be bombarded by noise so it takes our mind off the fact that we're living in shit. You hear that, London Breed? You destroyed the city. Right now, they're still destroying the Ninth Street Walgreens. Still blatant. Handcuff London Breed. Get her out of here. Okay, I'm going to cut the cards now for you. Because, as I said, she's standing on the shoulders of Nancy Reagan. Nancy Reagan didn't even have any shoulders. She was an anorexic, skinny little witch. Right, Gabby, man? I'm feeling this Aries energy, man. I'm feeling this Aries energy. Join me. Join me. Let's get a movement going. Let's stand up to London Breed. Let's stand up to, Jane Kim. Boy, that little son of a gun. Boy, she ain't worth crap. You think an Asian American, it's like I can name every supervisor in City Hall just tightly up London Breed's ass. No other way to say it. And we're suffering, and it's getting worse every day. What's it gonna take? What's it gonna take to say no? The news is all up her ass. I mean, every network news, and she's getting away with it. She's getting away with it. What do they say? Prostitutes in real estate get respectable with old age. Yeah, that's her. Okay, I'm going to pick a card now for you guys. I love you. I love you. Yeah, Pam Gregory, Kathy Rose. There's some great astrologers out there. Nobody's doing numerology. I want numerology to, make a comeback. I depend on numerology. That's why I'm saying this is a 1 month. It's the end of our year-long Pluto return in our money house. Nothing even resembles remotely what it used to resemble after Pluto is done. As I said, this only happens every 550-something years, and it's not over. This is the when Pam Gregory mentioned it. Pivot. It's a pivotal point. Yeah, this eclipse now is a pivotal point, an ignition point. We're not being fair to the truth. A lie can go around the globe before truth can get its boots on. Okay, let's see now. This is how we're feeling about ourselves. This is what we most want. Our fears. Fear is a dark room where negatives develop. As I said, cannabis heals. And when the mayor of this beautiful, used to be city where people came to, the only city in the United States where people could come and be themselves and do alternative healings and lifestyles, and then we get ourselves this mayor. Well, as I said, we had no choice. That Mark Leno, oh man, he's, as I said, he ran for me. These people, him and that, I don't smell. I'm a vegan vegetarian. My shit doesn't stink. When I lived with the Asthmatic Aries, she would mention to her people we had a nice house there, and friends of hers would sleep over, and she'd always say, make sure you light incense in the morning when you're in the bathroom, because Frank's shit doesn't stink. I was like a freak. But, I was thinking the other day, I was watching a deodorant commercial. Now everybody's into, everybody's talking about their bodies smell. I stopped using deodorant in the 60s. And I don't smell. Yeah, back in the 60s, I had a cold water flat, and I would put hot water under my armpits. I call it a whore bath, because I fell in love with this amazing guy. He was a hippie. He was in hair, and we were very close. And I was only 19. It was one of my first love affairs, and I was just, and he told me don't use deodorant anymore, and I didn't. And then I started getting into the human smells, that turned you on, man. To this day, I remember faces, and I could just and smelling them. It's sexy. Human smells are sexy, and yet we're somehow making our bodies secrete this toxic smell that people have, I guess. I don't know. What are you eating? What are you eating? What are you eating? Read the label, man. Even Michelangelo said, Leonardo da Vinci, those guys were vegetarians. One of those guys said, "My body is not a tomb for dead animals." Yeah, okay, so let's see. As I said, this is how we're feeling about ourselves now. Well, you reap what you sow. Deep down inside, we go. You point one finger at someone, you got three more pointing back at yourself. So yeah, we're responsible for everything, because the World War II guys came back thinking that their shit didn't stink. They're still wanting more. What do you want, a medal or a chest to pin it on? These Vietnamese guys I knew from high school who got back from Vietnam alive, they still want more statues for their buddies. God have mercy. Yeah, so we got, you reap what you sow. Yeah, it hurts. But you got to accept now. We did this. You made this. You turned to the other, you turned the other way. You chose to be obtuse, like London Breed. You chose to be obtuse. And this is what we want right now. We want to create. We want to start this new, fresh creativity. All these new ideas now. All these little use our creative. Use our mind now. These memory things they're selling now. These drugs to improve your memory. You don't want to remember everything. The human mind, God made our mind so we don't remember the important thing. We can only remember so many things. That's why I didn't want to pay attention to anything I learned in high school. All the crap I learned in high school, it's a wonder I could think it all. That quote from the Simon and Garfunkel album there. But, the fact is your brain can only hold so much. It's a finite, it's in touch with the infinite, but it only has so much space. So yes, it's a healthy thing not to remember the unimportant things. And yet they're selling this now as there's something wrong with our brains. No, there's something wrong with your brain. Excuse me. So yeah, this is a whole new beginning now. Feel it in your blood. Feel it all over the place. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Scholars often use willful ignorance to speak of the more general avoidance of situations that make someone aware of certain information, evidence of knowledge. That's London Breed. As I said, I'll repeat it again. If she was to accept harm reduction works, then she'd have to swallow the hard pill that the blood of her sister, her death, she could have saved her sister's life. A stupid nickel bag of pot would have saved her goddamn sister's life. I hate to say that because she's not a goddamn sister, but there was something here I wanted you all to hear about the solar eclipse, where it's an accelerated period of evolution now. That's what we're in, and April is the peak month of the year. And not just for the day. That's this thing on the 20th with the Jupiter and Uranus. I'll be doing that. I'll be talking about that in 2 weeks. The more we practice bravery, the easier it becomes. And and then there's this. We're going to finish the cards here. Okay, we did that. April is exceedingly intense, full of surprises. Expect the unexpected. 2 key constellations will shape the events of this month. The solar eclipse on the 8th, and the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus on the 15th to the 26th, peaking exact on the 20th. Right at the beginning of April, Mercury went retrograde yesterday until the 25th. Venus in Pisces reaches a conjunction with Neptune today. Tomorrow, actually. That's why I'm doing this show on the 2nd, because tomorrow is the 3rd. Jupiter, Aries and Taurus, Aries and Libra, Jupiter, these are opposites, primary focus. So that's what's going on there. With the news, if it bleeds, it leads. If it thinks, it stinks. And London breeds stinks because we'd have to think, and we don't want to think. You know, I don't know, there was a thought there, but it got sort of messed up. Faith is a person or a group's way of moving into force field of life. The universe is full of magical things, patiently waiting for our wits to grow sharper. Ignorance aligned with power is the most ferocious enemy justice could have. Yeah, so that's what's going on there. And one more thing, you know, I gotta every once a year I find this and then I whip it out, and I've been doing this ever since I started my show, 15 years ago, I guess. Sharia law, you know, Sharia law. It's legislated here in America. Here are some of the tenets of Sharia law: government based on religious doctrine. Yeah, this country was founded on religious freedom, but no, we got it, religious doctrine now, Sharia law. Women have fewer rights than men. Homosexuality is outlawed, rejecting science in favor of religious doctrine. No separation between church and state, religious taught in school, and abortion is illegal. That's just a little bit of Sharia law there. Okay, so yes, all these new ideas now. Imagine. Take some time to imagine. We'll start with the terrorist there, the orange, the tan-colored terrorist there, Donald J. Trump. Imagine him, you know, shackled and put in an asylum, put on death row. You know, visualize this. You know, I want to start a prayer circle. No kidding. I had this in the mystery school on a small scale. And what you do is you put the picture or write something about someone like this guy who's got a crushed spine. He's got a good settlement. He's living in Denver. He'll never be the same. You know, he was a hit and run victim, some oil baron in the Tenderloin, some slumlord backed up out of an alley and ran him over. And I'm just saying, I would put his name in that prayer circle, and then you sit around with some good psychics who have some power, and you would visualize the whole. It's a wonderful thing. I want to bring prayer circles back. I want cannabis to be used more, and I want truth to be aired equal time to these ads on TV now that are just telling you your body is your worst enemy. It's flawed. No, my body isn't flawed. God didn't make any mistakes. My body's exactly in perfect shape. I've never been in better health in my life. But all these industries would go bankrupt if they depended on people like me. I'm a vegan vegetarian. I don't use deodorant. I use only the purest ingredients, and I'm a big cannabis. I have to, otherwise they tell me the RA thing happens in your eyes if you're a heavy tobacco smoker. They don't mention that RA comes from heavy tobacco smoking, but they got all these cures for it, all these relieve the symptoms. Forget about the cure. You're gonna die. We don't give a shit about you. We're gonna make money on you. You know, they don't see you as anything but a somebody they can hawk things to. The President of the United States reflects the State of the Union. So Donald Trump reflected the State of the Union. Chew on that one. Our fears now, we're losing the earth. This is Venus now, knows the high priestess, the queen of the angels, the blessed mother provides everything. She's sitting there now. We don't trust that anymore. We see space now, where everything comes from as nothing, something to get through. We don't understand. It's the element responsible for all the elements. We don't see that. We're eating the menu instead of the meal. I don't know how else to say that. Yeah, But it's I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's going to win. The light's going to win. The darkness is on its way out. So get on board, man. Get on board. Choose the love now. It's all about love. Every time you see on the news more violence in the streets of San Francisco, remind yourself what Psychic Frank's been saying. I hate to talk to myself in the third person, but you won't let us sit at the table, London Breed, Ed Lee, Gavin Newsom, so we're tearing the legs off the effing table. What part of that don't you understand? Is I speaking over your head? You know exactly what I'm talking about, London Breed. You would not give us a seat at the table when it came to cannabis. And all these departments, again, that you destroyed. Their names, their departments still exist, but they're toothless. They're powerless. And then you get on the nerve and say you want to add more noise? You want to make the city more unbearable for the residents? And you think bringing pandas back to San Francisco is going to cover up the mess you made here? God have mercy on your twisted soul, London Breed, you sick, sick person. I pray for you. I pray for you because I know you're still breathing. You could change things. You could turn it around in a New York second. Yeah, you could totally talk about how what's his name? Willie Brown, man. Willie Brown empowered Ed Lee, gave us Gavin Newsom, and yeah, he's gonna die a legend because, as I say, turn on him. You know where the bodies are buried, London Breed. You can change things around. Stay in China if you're gonna come back here. Change. You keep saying when you ought to be changing. Like Nancy Sinatra said, you keep saying when you ought to be a changing. God, I see you on, it just blows my mind when I see you on TV. Totally in your own little bubble. Totally obtuse to this disaster you've created in this city that has the potential to be the healing mecca of the world. Please hear me and help me. Help me help you. Look, the final outcome is the high priestess, the queen of the angels. Her dress turns into the earth. See this, But now we totally won't give a shit about the planet, We totally, here, do it all with love now. But yeah, I get excited. People say, well, they're not used to dealing with people that aren't on Prozac, aren't on Valium, aren't on whatever the hell they're doing now. These people are my conditions is they're taking these pills and they have these twitch and it's just disgusting what's going on now. Oh, have mercy, have mercy, have mercy. Well, Gabby, say goodbye. We're almost done. We only have around 10 minutes left. Let me pick a few more cards for you guys. Oh, yeah. This is a book that came out 2 years ago about my dear friend Kathy Acker. She wrote Eat Your Mind, The Radical Life and Work of Kathy Acker by Jason McBride. And it's a good book. It's hard for me to read. I've read parts of it. I'm in a lot of it. But the thing is, it's hard for me to read this, but I'm glad this book came out because if it hadn't, I might have missed something because, she died in 97 and up until 97, I was doing pretty good. I was international. I was writing about me in the London Times every week. I was getting close to the head of Virgin Records in London and all. I had this life. I had this life planned for me, which didn't involve healing too much, mostly just psychic, giving people a cheap thrill, I guess. And then when Kathy died of breast cancer at 50, just totally blew my mind. Death will pick you up, spin you around, and drop you down deeper in your own life. And that's when I said, I'm not going to be a fortune teller anymore. I'm going to develop this healing ability I was born with, and that's what I did. Then I threw myself into anti-cannabis, into the cannabis movement. We got 2015 passed. And that's when I realized, I'm a healer. I'm a healer first and last and foremost, and that's why, as I said, I didn't even realize that, but because when you live in your life, it's for me it was kind of difficult to put it all in chronological order. But Jason McBride, this Canadian writer, he writes for the Village Voice and the New York Times, so he's a good writer. He made me look pretty good. Very much tones of Heathcliff and Kathy from Wuthering Heights. I love Kathy. We were best friends. I miss her. She gave me Gabby. Gabby's our love child. Yeah. Yeah, Gabby. Okay, I love you guys. I'm gonna pick 3 cards for you now, and as I said, in a couple of weeks, God willing, I'll do another video, and hopefully this will get 2 airings on SF Commons. Here's the past. Here's our where we are, and here's the future. Remember, this is an exciting month. Listen to Kathy Rose, astrologer, Pam Gregory, astrologer, Judd, his last name is Steve Judd, I think, and Heather, she's amazing. Get that love going. Be in that love mode, Yeah, get out of it. It's a practice, Get that empathy. Get that empathy movement. Have you ever seen London Breed do display any? She hasn't even pretended to be empathetic. She has lacking empathy, blindingly so. So here's our past. Receptive. Let's get back to the recepting. Everything is energy. Every action has a reaction. Make sure your actions are positive. Think love and peace. Don't feed the fear. Don't feed the fear. Justice is where we are now. It's no longer just us. It's us. the sane versus the insane. And here we are, taking dominion of our life. We've given our power away since World War II. Since Richard Nixon, we've given our power away. Even Eisenhower warned us against that little bastard Nixon. That son of a bitch. He really is. For every son of a bitch, they had a mother who was a bitch. I'm not anti-feminine. I'm just saying, be less of a bitch, London Breed. This probably won't even get aired, Okay, I'm going now. I love you guys. I love you. Say goodbye, Gabby. Namaste. Thank you. God willing, I'll be back in 2 weeks. I love you. I honestly love you, and I love San Francisco. Let's make this city what it can be. Let's clear up City Hall. I need your help. Let's get a movement going. Email me, psychicfrank1@gmail.com. Love you.